In the annals of unexplained mysteries, few cases are as chilling as the Dyatlov Pass Incident. It's a tale that has puzzled investigators for decades. The year was 1959. The place was the Ural Mountains in Soviet Russia. 9 experienced hikers set out on what should have been a challenging but manageable trek. They never returned. The group was led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old radio engineering student. His name would later be given to the pass where the incident occurred. The team consisted of 8 men and 2 women, all skilled in long-distance skiing and hiking. They were students or graduates of the Ural Polytechnical Institute. Their goal was to reach Otorten Mountain, a journey that would test their skills but not beyond their capabilities. What happened next has become the stuff of legend. The group failed to reach their destination. Search parties were sent out. What they found defied explanation. The hiker's tent was discovered, cut open from the inside. Footprints in the snow led away from the camp. Some were barefoot. The bodies of the hikers were found scattered over a wide area. Some were partially clothed. Others were found in a nearby ravine. The condition of the bodies raised more questions than answers. Some showed signs of paradoxical undressing, a phenomenon sometimes seen in hypothermia cases. Others had inexplicable injuries, fractured skulls, crushed ribs. One hiker was missing her tongue. The Soviet authorities were baffled. They closed the case, citing an unknown compelling force as the cause of death. This vague explanation only fueled decades of speculation and conspiracy theories. The Dyatlov group's expedition was meticulously planned. They were not amateurs stumbling into the wilderness. These were experienced outdoor enthusiasts. They had trained for this journey. Their equipment was carefully chosen. It included skis, warm clothing, and camping gear suitable for winter conditions. Igor Dyatlov. Our goal is to reach Otorten Mountain, a challenging grade 3 hike. We begin our journey on January 25th, 1959. First, we take a train to Ivdel, a town at the edge of the inhabited world. From there, we travel by truck to Vizhay, the last settlement before the wilderness. On January 27th, they began their ski trek toward Otorten Mountain. The weather was harsh but not unexpected for that time of year. Temperatures hovered around -15 to -18 degrees Celsius. The group's spirits were high as they set out. Zinaida Kolmogorova, our diaries and photographs show a team in good humor. We are confident in our abilities. We have no reason to suspect the tragedy that awaits us. Their last known campsite was on the slopes of Kolatsiakl, which in the local Mansi language means dead mountain. On February 1st, the group deviated from their planned route. Instead of making camp in a forested area, they chose to set up on the exposed slope. This decision has been scrutinized by investigators. Yuri Yudin, why did they choose such an exposed location? Was it to gain ground for the next day's trek? Or was there another reason? This choice would be the first of many mysteries surrounding their fate. The alarm was raised when the group failed to return as scheduled. On February 20th, a search party was organized. What they found was deeply disturbing. The hiker's tent was discovered on Kolatsiakl. It was partially torn down and covered with snow. Most shockingly, it had been cut open from the inside. This suggested the occupants had fled in a panic, slashing their way out rather than using the entrance. Footprints led away from the tent. Some were from feet wearing socks, some were barefoot, and some were from shoes. The tracks indicated that the group had split up. The first 2 bodies were found about 1.5 kilometers from the tent. These were Yuri Krivonishenko and Yuri Doroshenko. They were shoeless and dressed only in underwear. A pine tree nearby had broken branches, suggesting someone had climbed it. Igor Dyatlov. The next 3 bodies were found between the tent and the forest. These were of Dyatlov, Zina Kolmogorova, and Rustem Slobodin. They were in poses that suggested they were trying to return to the tent. Slobodin's skull was fractured, but this was not considered the cause of death. The remaining 4 hikers were not found until May 4th, when the snow had melted. These last 4 bodies were found in a ravine 75 meters deeper in the forest. They were better dressed than the others, suggesting they had taken clothes from their dead comrades. However, their injuries were severe. 3 had fatal chest injuries. The force required to cause such damage was later compared to that of a car crash. One victim, Ludmila Dubinina, was missing her tongue and eyes. The radiation levels on their clothes were also higher than normal. The Soviet authorities launched an investigation into the incident. It was led by Lev Ivanov, a local prosecutor. The investigation was thorough, at least initially. Ivanov's team interviewed witnesses, studied the group's diaries, and examined the physical evidence. They even considered the possibility of an attack by the indigenous Mansi people. This theory was quickly dismissed due to lack of evidence. Soviet investigator, the official conclusion was frustratingly vague. The report stated that the hikers had died due to an unknown compelling force. This phrase would become infamous in discussions of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. It suggested that the investigators themselves were at a loss to explain what had happened. The case was closed, and many of the files were classified. This official explanation, or lack thereof, only fueled public curiosity. Why were the authorities so reluctant to provide a clear cause of death? What had they found that was too sensitive to reveal? The vagueness of the conclusion left room for a wide range of theories. Some were plausible, others were outlandish. All attempted to fill the void left by the official investigation. Years later, Ivanov would claim that he had been ordered to close the case and classify the files. He hinted at a cover-up, suggesting that there was more to the story than had been revealed. This added another layer of mystery to an already perplexing case. It raised questions about what the Soviet authorities might have known and why they chose to keep it secret. Section 5. Nature's fury, avalanches, and hypothermia theories. Among the more plausible explanations for the Dyatlov Pass incident are natural phenomena. The avalanche theory has gained traction in recent years. Proponents argue that an avalanche could have struck the tent, forcing the hikers to flee. This would explain the cut in the tent and the group's hasty departure. It might also account for some of the injuries, particularly those sustained by the hikers found in the ravine. However, the avalanche theory has its critics. The slope where the tent was pitched is not steep enough for a typical avalanche, and there were no signs of avalanche debris at the site. Moreover, experienced hikers like the Dyatlov group would likely have recognized and avoided an avalanche-prone area. Some researchers have proposed a modified version of this theory, suggesting a smaller snowslide or a slab avalanche. Hypothermia is another key factor in many explanations. The extreme cold could certainly have played a role in the hikers' deaths. It could explain the paradoxical undressing observed in some victims. In severe hypothermia, people sometimes feel a false sense of warmth and remove their clothes. This phenomenon is well documented in other cases of exposure deaths. The combination of an avalanche or a similar event and hypothermia forms the basis of many natural explanations. The theory goes that something forced the hikers from their tent. In their panic and confusion, they fled into the bitter cold. Hypothermia set in quickly. This led to poor decision-making, explaining why some hikers were found partially clothed. Those who survived longer succumbed to their injuries or the cold in the ravine. While natural explanations have their merits, they don't satisfy everyone. The more sensational theories about the Dyatlov Pass incident often involve military or government interference. One popular idea is that the hikers stumbled upon a secret weapons test. The Soviet military was known to conduct experiments in remote areas. Could the group have witnessed something they weren't supposed to see?
Proponents of this theory point to the strange injuries sustained by some of the hikers. The crushed ribs and skulls seem inconsistent with an avalanche. They argue that these injuries are more in line with the effects of a shock wave from an explosion.
The high levels of radiation found on some clothing samples also fuel this speculation. Was this evidence of nuclear testing or some other military experiment? Another set of theories delves into the realm of the paranormal. Some have suggested that the hikers encountered UFOs or other extraterrestrial phenomena. These ideas often cite the strange lights reported in the sky by other hikers in the area around that time. While lacking scientific credibility, these theories speak to the truly bizarre nature of the incident. They reflect how difficult it is to explain the events through conventional means.
The infrasound theory offers a middle ground between natural and extraordinary explanations. Infrasound refers to low-frequency sound waves below the range of human hearing. These can be produced by wind interacting with topographical features. Some researchers propose that infrasound could have induced panic in the hikers, causing them to flee their tent. This theory attempts to explain the group's seemingly irrational behavior without resorting to external interventions.
The Dyatlov Pass incident continues to captivate our imagination decades after it occurred. What is it about this particular mystery that refuses to let go? Part of its enduring appeal lies in its perfect storm of enigmatic elements. We have a group of experienced, capable young people. They embark on a challenging but not impossible journey. Then, something goes catastrophically wrong. The physical evidence presents a series of contradictions. The tent cut from the inside suggests panic. But what could terrify a group of seasoned hikers so much that they'd flee into the deadly cold? The varying states of undress and the scattered locations of the bodies paint a picture of confusion and desperation. The brutal injuries to some victims hint at violence, yet there's no clear evidence of an attack. Each piece of evidence seems to support multiple, often conflicting theories. This ambiguity is part of what keeps the mystery alive. It allows for endless speculation and debate. New theories can always find some foothold in the known facts. At the same time, no single theory has yet managed to explain all aspects of the case satisfactorily. The historical context also adds to the intrigue. The incident occurred during the Cold War in the secretive Soviet Union. This backdrop of geopolitical tension and government secrecy provides fertile ground for conspiracy theories. The official investigation's vague conclusion and the subsequent classification of files only add to the sense that something was being hidden. In recent years, there have been renewed efforts to solve the Dyatlov Pass mystery. Advanced scientific techniques have been applied to the available evidence. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case. They concluded that an avalanche was the most likely cause. This official statement was met with skepticism by many researchers and enthusiasts. One notable modern investigation was conducted by a team led by Johann Goem of the Snow and Avalanche Simulation Laboratory. They used computer simulations to model a potential avalanche scenario. Their findings, published in 2021, suggested that a small but unusually shaped avalanche could have caused the injuries observed. This study provided some scientific backing to the avalanche theory. Other researchers have focused on the role of weather conditions. Some have proposed that a phenomenon known as a katabatic wind could have played a part. These are dense, cold winds that flow down slope under the force of gravity. They can reach hurricane speeds in some conditions. Such winds could potentially explain both the hikers' panic and some of the physical evidence at the scene. Forensic analysis of photographs taken by the hikers has also yielded new insights. Enhanced images have revealed details previously unseen. Some researchers claim to have identified strange shapes or lights in the sky in these photos. While intriguing, these findings remain controversial. They highlight the ongoing tension between scientific investigation and more speculative approaches to the mystery. Regardless of what actually happened at Dyatlov Pass, the incident offers valuable lessons for modern outdoor enthusiasts. It underscores the importance of proper planning and equipment when venturing into remote areas. The Dyatlov group was well prepared by the standards of their time, yet they still fell victim to the harsh realities of the wilderness. One key lesson is the importance of communication. In 1959, the hikers had no way to call for help when things went wrong. Today, satellite phones and emergency beacons can provide a lifeline in remote areas. These technologies don't eliminate all risks, but they can make a crucial difference in survival situations. The incident also highlights the unpredictable nature of mountain environments. Even experienced outdoors people can be caught off guard by sudden changes in weather or unexpected hazards. This underscores the need for constant vigilance and adaptability when in the wilderness. It's crucial to be prepared to change plans if conditions become unsafe. Finally, the Dyatlov Pass incident serves as a reminder of the power of nature. In the mountains, small mistakes or unfortunate circumstances can have severe consequences. This doesn't mean we should avoid such adventures. Rather, it emphasizes the need for respect, preparation, and a healthy dose of caution when exploring wild places. The mystery of Dyatlov Pass may never be fully solved, but its lessons for wilderness safety are clear and enduring.